All right, the Ravens placed a non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. You suspected that might happen. He can now engage in contract talks with other teams. What do you think Baltimore's goal is here?
To get Lamar as cheap as possible. And the Lamar thing's complicated. So why don't you go ahead and read the next question, and I'll do the whole Lamar thing together.
So obviously Lamar is still available, but the Falcons, Dolphins, Panthers, Commanders, and Raiders are all reportedly out.
Okay, so let me jump in right there. It's one thing for teams to privately say this is not this is not where we're going to put all our eggs. It is incredibly odd for those teams to to leak to reporters that we are out on this, okay? And here's the other thing that I don't understand.
The Panthers?
How do you not at least hold a meeting?
Right.
How do you not? I understand if their feeling is he wanted from the Ravens $50 million a year, 5 years fully guaranteed. We're not doing that. So be it. Is it not still in your interest if you're the Falcons, Panthers, or Commanders to call him and say, here's what we would offer? Are you interested? Is it not worth finding out that if Lamar, having not gotten the fully guaranteed deal for 2 years from Baltimore, maybe has lowered his sights a bit, or that he would accept from you something he wouldn't have accepted from Baltimore because he's now angry with them?
Right.
To not at least investigate it strikes me as negligence. Strikes me as like you are not doing your due diligence to make your team the best it can be. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're in sort of unknown territory here. The bachelor party in Bangkok scenario worked out for my boy Daniel Jones, man.
Yes.
For some reason, teams aren't bending over backwards to trade for Lamar. You have to wonder, would this be happening to any other quarterback at his level? What's really going on?
Okay, so a lot of people think this is just blatant collusion. And I am not. And then you have some people. I saw Benjamin Albright. It was like, to believe it's collusion, you'd have to believe all 31 GMs got together to work into their own interests. It's like, buddy, we saw collusion with Cap. We saw it. We know it can happen where a quarterback that could help teams, everyone agrees not to sign it. So to act like it's an impossibility is foolishness. Go ahead.
I think it's a domino effect. Like, the Ravens are already kind of like disrespecting him. And I think that other teams are just kind of falling in line,
Well, I do think there is pressure amongst owners to other owners that the moment someone else gets the Deshaun Watson deal, all quarterbacks are going to want it. The moment someone else gets a fully guaranteed deal, all the other quarterbacks are going to want it. So hold the line. So I do think there's an element of that. I am not going to go out and say this is full-blown. What are you confused by?
Hey, it's Deshaun Watson. Like, I don't understand. Is Deshaun Watson better than Lamar Jackson?
No. But and that's
it's you guys' fault that ended up happening.
Correct. But all the owners want it to be like, it's Cleveland made a mistake. We're not going to make it. That's but the moment a second guy gets it, then you don't think Joe Burrow's going to want one? Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, everybody's going to want one. So the owners are trying to hold the line. I do believe that. But it does only take one. Only takes one owner to say, man, I don't care if these dudes are mad at me. I want Lamar Jackson.
Right.
And I want to win. Now, do I understand the hesitation from teams? Like fully guaranteed, he's injured a lot, doesn't throw that well. Yes. But we also live in a world where Carson Wentz got traded for a first-round pick, where teams gave Jared Goff $100 million guaranteed.
Daniel Jones.
Where we do it, and now Daniels is only really like $90 million guaranteed. But there are not enough good quarterbacks for nobody to go out and pay through the nose for Lamar.
Right.
I think somebody will. So the reason I've stayed somewhat quiet on this, at least on social, is because I wanted to give the full context. I think what's happening right now is fishy. I also think someone will pay, even if it's not 100% fully guaranteed.
Lamar to the Texans.
So that's an interesting one.
So they got don't they have like the first or
The
second
number 2
round?
pick.
Number 2 pick.
They have the money. That to me is an interesting one. The Falcons is the one that I had been promoting. The fact that the Commanders are just out is wild to me. But here's the other, to me, intriguing piece of it. Or not intriguing. Here would be my advice. Lamar's worked without an agent. Teams don't like it. There are pros and cons to that. I think Lamar should call David Mulugeta. That's Deshaun's agent. Because the fact of the matter is, whatever he did to turn Deshaun Watson, who had sat out a year and was facing 23 civil suits and the specter of potential criminal charges, he organized an all-out bidding war that ended up with Deshaun getting the best contract ever and that team having to give up 3 first-round picks.
Everybody should be looking for Deshaun's agent.
But look, the reason I'm saying Lamar specifically, Lamar is in a very similar spot right now without any of the baggage.
Right.
Where he is a star quarterback in his mid-20s who is available.
Won an MVP.
Right.
All that good stuff.
And had accomplished, but those guys normally don't come available.
Right.
And so I would think it would be worth it. Because whatever David did to get Deshaun that deal, it's an all-time, and by the way, he did with the Browns did it knowing he was potentially going to be suspended. He's missed 11 games. So even if you can't get him that deal because the Browns were desperate and dumb, I do think at this point, the best deal that Lamar could get, David could get him. And by the way, he's not a clutch agent. I have no ties to this or anything. I don't have a relationship with David except for to say hello to him. I'm totally unconflicted on this. It just seems like the guy who was in this similar position, but with 30 tons of baggage that I don't have, he got this deal. With your help, why don't you come help me? I don't think he's going to play for the Ravens again. I've been saying that for a while now. Some more people seem to be coming around to it right now. Do you have a follow-up you want to ask?
You want to talk about Daniel or what?
I mean, do you think it's a good contract? Do you think it's a good deal for the Giants? I don't know what the Giants are doing.
I think time will tell. Steady improvement.
You should make the Giants your team. You should. You don't really have a team. You were born in Mississippi. You lived in Kansas City. But if you just tell people, I mean, you could be a Chiefs fan fairly, but if you feel like that's too easy, forget the Texans are a disastrous franchise. You've lived in New York. You like Daniel Jones. You're about to move to LA. When people are like, who's your team? I think Giants, you should consider it. You should consider it because you're not going to be you're not going with the Jags. I know it.
I'm definitely not going with the Jags. I was always I figured, call myself a Chiefs fan. Giants would be a fun team.
Well, listen, I'd be thrilled if you're
everybody
a Chiefs
always
fan.
Gets pissed at me when I play with the Chiefs on Madden.
Yeah, but the thing is like because of your connection to the city and having grown up there and all of that, you can fairly claim Chiefs fandom. But if you didn't want to,
that's the easy road, is what you're saying. No fun in that.
Well, no, there's a lot of fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fun in it. But if you didn't want to claim it, you could go Giants.
Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.